Okay, to continue the lesson, we're going to start off with something simple because when you're dividing fractions, there's a few things you need to know before we get started. This is a review skill. First thing you have to know is how to divide or how to change a mixed number to an improper fraction. Remember, you do times and plus. Now, if I talk fast, please remember to pause the video and write this down. All right, so to change to an improper fraction, you're going to say 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. That's not too difficult. Now, the bottom number will stay the same, which means the denominator is 3. Again, let's do another one. Let's say 4 2/5. Change it to an improper fraction. I'm going to put a times here and a plus here. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2. It's 22. Difficult yet? No. Okay, and the denominator stays a 5. So now that's the first thing that I need to know if I have a mixed number. Remember, a mixed number has a whole number, a numerator, and denominator. Okay, now we're going to go to the next step. Now remember, I'm going through this fairly quickly, so you need to be writing it down so you can remember. Next is, how do you change a whole number to a fraction? You put the 5 in the top, and it's always 1 on the denominator. So it's 5 over 1. So simple. How do I make 10 a fraction? 10 over 1. How do I make 21 a fraction? 21 over 1. Everybody okay with that? Now, the next thing we have to know is when dividing fractions, you can only have a numerator and denominator. Now, if you can't remember that, you need to write it down. When dividing fractions, you can only have a numerator and denominator, which means numerator and denominator. That's it. That's what you have to have before you start dividing. So we're going to start with the packet like we did in class. And let's start with number 8. In your packet, we're going to start with number 8. Number 8 says 1 over 6 divided by 1 over 4. Okay, what do I have here? Do I have only a numerator and denominator? Yes, so we're okay. What about this one? Only a numerator and denominator? Yes, we're good. Now we're ready for the rules. And the rules are, remember, after you get this, then you do, does anybody remember what that stands for? It's not Kentucky Fried Chicken, even though it's backwards. It's keep, change, flip. Keep means the first fraction will always stay the same. Change it to times. Flip, 4 over 1. There is a shortcut, but we're not doing that just yet. So 1 times 4 is 4. 6 times 1 is 6. Now, I was taught a different way than you guys, but I know you guys, this is what I normally see from boys and girls in 6th grade. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, that is in simplest form, which is what you want. You want it in simplest form. And I got to pause the video because it's looking blurry to me. Okay, I think I got the blurriness gone, maybe for a few minutes. We'll just have to see. Okay, the next one that we're going to do after number 8, let's see, other one we did in class, this is in case you guys missed it, is number 13. Number 13, 9 over 2 divided by 1/2. Do I have a numerator and denominator only? Yep. What about this one? Yep. So now I'm ready for keep, change, flip. Keep means you keep it just like it is. Change. Flip means the numerator is swapped with the denominator. Then 9 times 2, you multiply straight across. It's 18. 2 times 1 is 2. Now, you can do this 2 different ways. One, you can say, how many times will 2 go into 18? 9. A lot of you will do this, divide by 2, and you get 9 over 1. But you have to remember that 9 over 1 is not simplified. You have to divide 1 into 9 So my final answer is 9. So you can do it this way, or you can do it this way. You've got your choice. But just make sure your final answer is 9. The next one we did in class was number 14. Number 14 is 2 1/4. 2 1/2 divided by 4. Now, do I have only a numerator and denominator? No. How did we change it a while ago? We said times and plus. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. My denominator stays the same. I'm still divided by, because what's wrong with this number? It doesn't have a numerator and denominator yet, so we have to make it have one. Okay, now we're ready for keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 4 is 8. And 5 is a prime number. It's only divisible by 1 and itself. That's what makes it prime, which tells you nothing else will go into that, okay? Except for 5, and 5 won't go into 8, so it is simplified. Okay? The next one we did in class was on the sheet that is due when you come back to school. And that's on, I'll show it to you. This sheet right here is the great big sheet. Okay? And it is number 5 in class we did. So we've got 17 over 3 divided by 14 over 5. Some of these are challenging just because they're just divided by 2-digit numbers. We'll have to see how it works. What about this one? Does it have a numerator and denominator? Yes, we keep it. That one already has. We change it. So I'm ready for keep, change, flip, and I don't have to do anything else. Now, you've got to multiply 17 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35, carry your 3. 5 times 1 is 5, 6, 7, 8. So my numerator is 85. 14 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So now I have 42. Now, here's where your greatest common factor comes in. Oh my goodness, them are big numbers. Can I divide by anything to reduce that? Well, I'm going to take the smallest number and break it down like a greatest common factor. What times what will give me 42? 2 times 21. 2 I can't break down. What times what gives me 21? 7 times 3. These are the only numbers that will go into 42. So I've got to see if one of these numbers will go into 85. Well, that's an odd number. This is even. 2 won't work. What about 7? Well, 7 times something give me 85. So watch, 85, and I'm dividing by 7. Odd number. But will 7 go into 15? No, that won't work. What about 21? Well, that one ends in a 5. Nope. So we are done with that one. Okay? Except, is it in simplest form? No. The top number is bigger than the bottom. So what you're going to have to do is say 85 divided by 42. And how many times will that go into 85? I think it'll go 2. Because 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 4 is 8. Now, here's where the big mistake comes in for boys and girls trying to simplify a fraction. When you divide, that's your whole number. Whole number means the big number. This is what I told my boys and girls. Just put a slash. If you know that used to be a remainder, that's what we used to call it. Put a slash on it. That will remind you that this number goes in the top and there's another number that goes down here. So that's 2 and 1. And what did I divide by? 42. Now, I tell my boys and girls this because when they start writing, they'll write their answer like 2 and 1 over 42. That is not 2 and 1 over 42. Your whole number is the big number. So if you put a 2 here, then the fraction must be the top plus the bottom, which is numerator and denominator. It should be the same height as the whole number. Look how I did mine over here. See how big the whole number is? and the fractions on the top and the bottom, the fraction kind of makes up for the whole. See, they're about the same height. That's the way you want it. Okay? So that is the answer to number 5. Now, that's the only ones we did on that page, but let me go ahead and warn you about the others that you're going to do. Go ahead and mark number 1. I kind of like to give you little free hints every once in a while. Number 1, you will not have to reduce. When you get that answer, it's done. Let's see. Number 2 and 3, you got to reduce. That one you got to reduce. That one you got to reduce. The other big one that I found was kind of hard to reduce was numbers 2. 2 was a hard one to reduce because it's divided by a 2-digit number, which you can do this. It's not too hard. You can do it. 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 10 through 12. Okay, but they're not big numbers where you can't divide. If you get a number that is an answer of 42 over 21, you can do that. You can say 42 divided by 21. What's 21 plus 21? Ooh, I guessed at that. That is 42. So that goes 2 times. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Oh, that's even. Comes out good. Well, let's try 43. So I want it to come out. So let's try 44. Let's say 44 over 21. Okay, so watch this one. 44 divided by 21. 2 times, and we said it was 42. Now, how many is left over? We have 2 left over. See me draw my little line there. So that reminds me, I have my whole number is 2. My fraction is 2 over what I divide by? 21. Okay? Easy peasy. Okay. If you are dividing and you get your final answer to be 6 and 2/4, you need to know that that is not simplified. What's wrong? What do you know about both of these numbers? They are even. What can you divide by? You can divide by 2. 2 goes into 2, 1. 4 goes into 2, 2. Now, if you started with $6 and 2/4, you can't end up with just $0.50, which is 50 cents. What have I forgotten? You cannot forget that whole number, okay? All you did was reduce this part of the fraction to be 1/2. So don't forget your whole number. Everybody okay? Pause it if you need to pause it and write some of this down. Now, so you will do all of this page, okay? That's not too hard for you. Then you're going to turn over to the back and you have 6 word problems like this. Now, the word problems are not difficult because what's on the very front of your sheet? Well, not that sheet. That's your POTDs and stuff we are reviewing. But on this sheet that we just got through doing, what's the top word? Dividing fractions. So, hint, hint. What do you think we're going to be doing here? Dividing fractions. So let's look at number 1. Mr. Johnson bought 1/2 pound of ham to use to make 3 sandwiches. He uses the same amount of ham on each sandwich. What fraction of a pound of ham is on each sandwich? Well, we start out with 1/2. And how much did he use? Let's see, he made how many? 3 sandwiches. And he wants to know how much is it going to take to make 1 sandwich. So here we're going to divide. I caution you and make sure, now the way these are worded, they're okay. On this sheet, make sure whatever number is first is the number you put first. Because if you put the wrong number first, you're going to be keep, change, flip. You're going to be flipping the wrong number. So this one will be 1/2 divided by 3. Go ahead and look at number 2. We did this one in class also, so let me do it in class for you. Olivia has 3 2/3, okay, gallons of milk in her refrigerator. She's going to pour the milk into cups that hold 1/6 of a gallon. How many cups will that fill? So think of this. We have, well, you can't see that. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then this other one has 3 parts, and I got this much milk. Okay, and she's going to take all of this milk And she's going to pour it in a container that's probably the same size, but look how many sections it has. How many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just happened to draw 6. So here's what she's going to do. She's going to pour all that milk in this container with just one section. The same way with this one. How many of those will she have? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to divide. We don't have a numerator and denominator. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11 over 3, divided by 1/6. Now what do I do? Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. 11 times 6 is 66. 3 times 1 is 3. Now look, you should be able to do this in your head. Watch. How many times will 3 go into 6? How many times will 3 go into that 6? So how many of those little bitty containers is she going to fill up just about that much? She's going to have 22 of those suckers. Okay? So you have to be able to visualize and visually see what it's talking about. So that's the number mentioned first. That's the number I put first. Okay? Now, for this coming week, when you turn papers in on Monday, and then your other guys will turn papers in on Thursday, the only thing you have to turn in is this sheet and this sheet. Okay? That's it. So don't work yourself to death. That's enough problems because this page is pretty full. It's just 12 problems, but it's going to take you a while. Okay? If you have any questions, please pause the video and rewind it and keep working and do not give up. We can do this. Hope you guys have a great time working math because you know I love it.